Here's where I am currently on the Mughal polystyrene drawing project. I recall working on the project somewhat during the late morning, early to mid afternoon period. And while doing so, I used these Sharpie markers to finish the zero, coloring in the zero of the 50 crate on the back side of the Mughal polystyrene drawing. I think I'm almost done with it. I just have to color in the 5 of the 50 crate on the back side, do the coloring and detail for the wings on the back side, and then use this light gray ultrafine Sharpie marker to give all of the clouds some detail and make them look more like real clouds. These are my leftovers from when me and my dad went to the Genesee Brew House to be with members of his side of the family at a wooden table for a large party. To celebrate my dad's parents' wedding anniversary. I recall, along with me, my dad and his parents, three of his brothers and their wives were there. This is a slice of chicken barbecue pizza, I think. That I was given after the wife of one of my dad's brothers ordered it and decided not to finish it all at the bar restaurant. Both me and my dad got a cheeseburger plate and we both decided to bring some home. We shared 2 orders of chicken buffalo pierogies, with each order being 5. The photo part shows the 2 I had initially. But after everyone had a chance to have some, and I had the two I was given initially, I was given one more buffalo chicken pierogi, making for a total of 3. Me and my dad were at Genesee Brew House roughly from 4 to 6 p.m. And everyone else arrived around 4:15, 4:30 p.m. Throughout our time at Genesee Brew House, I made some conversation with everyone. And generally having an enjoyable time. Genesee Brew House based off appearances seems to be like a gift shop on the first floor and a bar restaurant on the second floor. I recall feeling moderately tired by the time me and my dad got back at his place around 6:30 p.m. Me and my dad left to go to Genesee Brew House around 3:45 p.m. While I was thinking about future plans, kind of the same thing at times while I was at Genesee Brew House. I recall feeling moderately tired roughly from 6:30 p.m. to about 10:50 p.m. And during that period, I recall falling asleep a couple times. First from 7 to 8 p.m. on the floor of my room upstairs. The floor there is carpeted. And then I recall falling asleep from around 8:30 p.m. to around 10:50 p.m. The second time I fell asleep, it was on my bed upstairs. The carpeted floor isn't uncomfortable. At worst, it's just a tiny bit uncomfortable to lie down on. But my bed is considerably more comfortable, especially with the blanket. I recall going to bed today around 2 in the morning, falling asleep around 2:30 in the morning, and then naturally waking up somewhere between 5 and 5:30 in the morning. And I wasn't able to fall back asleep after about half an hour of trying, so I got up, finished editing the June 19 My Dinner video, though that effort leaned more towards the late morning hours. And I recall the June 19 My Dinner video rendered around noon and finished uploading to my YouTube channel around 1:30 p.m. Around 9:15 in the morning, I had with my first cup of coffee for today. The last apple turnover from a 4-pack my dad had gotten from the local Walmart. I recall having around 2 full cups of plain coffee, and then a partial third cup that was about half of a cup of plain coffee. From 9:15 in the morning to about 11:15 in the morning. I recall for roughly the first half hour, we were at the Genesee Brew House. Me and my dad sat at about the middle of the bar area on the second floor, which is also where the dining room tables were, with the bar area being at one of the sides of the large room of the second floor of the Genesee Brew House. While me and my dad were at the bar area, I got an aluminum can of original 1911 hard cider, and then one of my dad's brothers had me try an alcoholic slushie, though I only had a few sips of those alcoholic beverages prior to having at least the 2 initial buffalo chicken pierogi. And after the 2 alcoholic beverages, I finished a glass of iced water, which I opted to get with the 2 alcoholic beverages I brought over from the bar area to the large table me, my dad, and some members of his family sat at. An aluminum can of 1911 original hard cider and some alcoholic slushy in a plastic glass. At one point, while we were all at that large wooden table, I congratulated my dad's parents on their wedding anniversary. They were sat at the right end of that large wooden table, and I was sat near the left end of it. I recall there were 10 of us in total, me, my dad, and some members of his family, and there was some background noise at the time due to there being plenty of other people on the second floor of the Genesee Brew House. And the fact that we were a group of 10 made it difficult at times to talk to my dad's parents, but ultimately I managed. On the first floor of the Genesee Brew House, in some ways it's a bit like a museum too. I recall today being partially cloudy and sunny, and until around 6 p.m., it wasn't really too hot today. And even then, it was only moderately hot. It wasn't exactly sweltering. Otherwise, throughout much of today, it was pretty close to mid-spring temperatures, and I generally didn't need to have my air conditioner on until I got back from the Genesee Brew House back to my dad's place.